Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to Civilization 6 A to Z, where I will go through each of the civilizations one by one and provide thoughts, strategy, and rankings. Today we will look at England, which is a civilization that is very focused on settling cities on continents that are not their home continent and building a strong navy to protect it. They also get a significant boost to their archaeological museums, which enables them to be a cultural powerhouse as well. England's leader is Victoria. She has two main bonuses. First, founding a city or building a Royal Navy dockyard on a continent other than your home continent grants a free melee unit in that city. You get one for founding the city and one for building the dockyard for a total of 2 free units in your overseas cities. If you have the opportunity to pick up the Golden Age dedication Hic sunt Draconis, it can really help make these cities even stronger. Unfortunately, if you capture an enemy city and then build a dockyard, you do not get a unit for this. Her second bonus is that she gains the Redcoat unique unit when military science is researched. This unit has 65 melee strength baseline, but gains an additional 10 combat strength when fighting on a continent other than the English capital. Like Teddy for America, this military unit is attached to Victoria's leader bonus, so if they ever introduced another English leader, this unit would not carry over. The Redcoat is an incredibly strong melee unit that is actually stronger than infantry if fighting on a continent away from its capital. Redcoats also gain the benefit of not needing niter, which the lack of can frequently slow down other civilizations' mid-game armies. Redcoats are fairly expensive, however, costing 5 gold maintenance compared to 4 gold for a standard musketman. Make sure that you have a strong economy if you plan to have a large Redcoat army. The overall scores for Victoria's leader bonus are as follows. For domination, I would give them a 10. If I could give this bonus higher than a 10, I would. The unit alone is about a 10, but then you add on the ability to get free melee units and this bonus is incredibly powerful. Since maps are random and there's obviously no guarantee that you have a different continent close by, you will want to get cartography as soon as possible so that you can send your settlers over open waters. As for science, culture, and religion, these all get zeros here. This bonus doesn't help any of these areas at all. England's civilization ability is called British Museum. This ability has 2 main bonuses. First, each archaeological museum can hold 6 artifacts instead of 3 and can build 2 archaeologists instead of 1. Doubling the number of artifacts that England can hold in their museums is not only nice for England, but also helps you to claim more artifacts so that other civilizations can't. Make sure that you keep an eye open for the great scientist Mary Leakey, as she is very powerful for England. Picking up Terracotta Army could be very valuable for England, since you will likely need to go into other people's borders in order to fill all of your museums. You will also want to beeline cultural heritage as soon as you can to reveal shipwrecks for even more artifacts. And the second bonus is that archaeological museums are automatically themed when they have 6 artifacts. This is a nice quality of life addition that keeps you from having to worry about which era or civilization your artifacts are from. The overall scores for this civilization ability are as follows. For domination and science, you get a 0. There's really just nothing here for these victory types. For culture, you get a 10. This is a great bonus for a culture victory push, especially if you are able to grab Mary Leakey. And finally, religion gets a 0 here as well. Again, there's just nothing here for this victory type. England's unique unit is called the Sea Dog. It is a naval raider unit that replaces the privateer. It's identical in every way except that it can capture adjacent enemy naval units. Please note that this does not work for barbarian or city-state ships, which makes sense because that would be way too easy to farm up. The chance to capture the other unit is based on the relative base strength of the Sea Dog versus the other unit. This does not include any promotions that you have gotten, but it does make it more important to get your Sea Dogs formed into navies and armadas as soon as you are able to. The overall score for this unit is, for domination, I would give it an 8. Build a bunch of these and start raiding the coastline of one of your enemies while you wait for them to send their ships into your trap. England's unique infrastructure is called the Royal Navy Dockyard. This is a district that replaces the harbor. It has a lower production cost than the baseline harbor. You are going to want to get these up first thing in every city, especially the ones that are not in your home continent, so the lower production cost really helps out a lot. You also get +1 movement for all units built in the dockyard. Granted, this won't help your captured units, but it'll make your Sea Dogs that much more powerful, along with any other units that you decide to build to supplement your world-dominating navy. You also get +2 gold when built on a foreign continent. This is a nice extra bonus to have that can help to fund your expensive Redcoat army. And finally, you get +4 loyalty when built on a foreign continent. Since most of your cities will be a long distance away from your capital, this extra loyalty is critical to make sure that you're able to keep them under your control. It would be a shame to have your colonies on some continent named America, for example, become disloyal and gain their independence. The overall scores for this district are as follows. For domination, I would give them an 8. Both the increased movement and the increased gold are obvious boosts for a domination victory push. However, the loyalty is also a huge bonus if you are pushing domination because it will help you keep these newly conquered cities under your control. Both science and culture get 4s here. The extra gold will help you to purchase great people, which can help for either a science or culture victory push. And finally, religion gets a 0. There is just nothing here to help a religion victory. As for overall strategy, if you're playing as England, getting off of her home continent is an important part of playing as England no matter which victory condition you want to pursue. It's not impossible to have a second continent connected to you by land or coastal waters, but more than likely you will need to beeline cartography as soon as possible. Expand as much as you can in every direction that you can early in the game. Most of your military might will likely come from either building cities and dockyards overseas, or from capturing other civilizations' ships with your sea dogs, but make sure that you don't neglect to protect your incredibly valuable capital back home. At some point, you will need to decide if you want to use your military might to conquer your neighbors, or just use them to protect what you have and pursue one of the other victory types, or maybe a bit of both. As for governments, no matter which victory you decide to pursue, combat is likely going to be a part of the equation. For this reason, I would pick up Oligarchy for the 4-card slot. Its increased combat strength and unit experience will help to cement your position as a world power on both land and sea. For the 6-card slot, Monarchy could be a great pickup, especially if you are warmongering due to its 3 military card slots. But overall, I feel that Merchant Republic will be the better choice because your large military will be expensive to maintain and the extra gold production can help a lot. And as for the 8-card slot, if you're going for a conquest victory, Fascism is the recommended choice here, though I will call out that if you're going to try to maximize your tourism output, Democracy would be an understandable alternative. If you're playing against England, Victoria's leader agenda is called Sun Never Sets. She likes civilizations who have a city on her home continent and will try to expand to all continents. She dislikes civilizations on continents where she has no city. If you are playing nice, it can be a bit of a challenge to make Victoria like you, since you will have no control on whether she puts a city on your continent or not. But if you're worried about it, you can at least stick a token city on her continent and hope for the best. Getting a military alliance with England could be a powerful move, especially if you're playing a civilization that struggles with control of the sea. If you're going after England, your best bet is to take her out before she gets access to her redcoats and sea dogs. If this is not an option, then the best way to take out a redcoat is while it's at sea, because once it lands, it's a force to be reckoned with. Worst case, try to use your range units to pick it apart before it can get too close and do too much damage. As for the sea dogs, just make sure that you keep your ships close together, as a lone ship is just begging to be captured by a small group of sea dogs. As for victory condition, with 2 strong unique units and multiple ways to acquire units for free, it should come as no surprise that England's best victory type is domination. Whether by land or by sea, England will be able to make their presence known in a powerful way. Play nice with the people on your home continent since you'll need some trading partners, but show no mercy to anyone on any other continents. Where does England rank overall? For domination, I would give them a 9. Just like America, England with Victoria has 2 unique units, but where America's are more defensive-minded, England's are all about going on the offense. Expand, expand, expand. If you're sitting still and not planning your next overseas expansion as England, you're probably doing something wrong. Make sure you don't neglect your economy because you'll need it to field a large military. As for science, I'm going to give them a 2. England can get a little bit of an economy boost from its Royal Navy dockyards, which can help with buying great people, but overall, England is just not designed to pursue a science victory. As for culture, I would give them a 7. Culture is a very nice alternative for England, and one that they can do quite well. Between your incredibly powerful archaeology museums and the ability to go out and capture whatever wonder suits your needs, England is one of the better culture victory civilizations in the game. And finally, as for religion, I'm going to give them a 0. This is the first 0 I've given for an overall ranking in a category. I still stand by an overall philosophy that any civilization can win any victory type, but there is literally nothing helping a religious victory for England, so it will definitely have one of the hardest times of any of the civilizations. What are your thoughts? Did I get it right? Did I miss something? Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and also please give me a thumbs up if you do like this video and want to see more of these. I do plan to keep these going, so I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.